You're listening to Punisher Waterfowls, the Union 0430 podcast. Brought to you by Real Geese Decoys, the most technologically advanced silhouette decoy on the market. First Light, the best hunting gear on the planet. Go farther, stay longer. And Ducklander Calls, tradition, education, and quality. Built to hunt.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Union 0430. This is episode 172, and welcome back Mr. Mario Friendly from Final Approach. Mario, buddy, great to have you on again. It's been a while. And I know you had a death. You had to postpone. We were going to do this about a week ago. So sending nothing but love and thoughts your way from all of us. And then, you know what? Thanks for, having to deal with all that and then still, coming back on, still agreeing to come back on a week later. So thank you so much.
It's all good. It's all good. It's good talking to you guys. So I'm good.
Awesome. Mark is here. Philly is here. Just the four of us tonight, and we're going to bang this out. This is going to be a great show. I know it. And before we kick off, however you're listening to us, if you're listening to us or watching us, however it is, give us a like, give us a subscribe. And hey, listen, fire us a message and let us know what you like about the show, what you like about the guest. Anything is, listen, we're an open book. And Mark and Phil and I and Ryan, we say it all the time. We're not experts. We'll never pretend to be. And you'll get a real answer from us. It'll either be an educated answer or we haven't got a fucking clue. We don't know what you're talking about. So, you know what I mean? Like, we'll be brutally. I got a message, and I got a message yesterday, and it's funny because I got a message on the Facebook messenger thing last evening, and it was a guy that messaged me, and he was like, the Beretta A400, does it float a shell? And I was like, dude, I have no idea if it floats a shell. And he was like, okay, I appreciate the honest answer. I was like, I have no idea. I've never ever tried it. I don't know.
I know a few guns that'll float that forth, but that's if you're willing to test that out and see if Mr. Green Jeans is watching you and go freaking rogue, I guess go ahead. You know what I mean? I'm not who am I to tell you you can't do it.
My old Extrema 2 could do it.
Yeah, I've never tried it, so I don't. Mark is chomping at the bit to get in here.
Almost any semi will float a shell.
Yeah,
but will it cycle?
Well, there you go.
And do you have to do modifications to make it happen?
So
only the good ones will run with 4 in them.
So, anyways, I love it. I love when people message me, and like I said, I'll give you an honest to God answer. I either know it or I don't know it. I'm not going to bullshit you. I promise you that.
Hell, you're supposed to answer that. That's like incriminating yourself. Like,
I didn't even think about that. Maybe it was a spy. Maybe it was somebody trying to get me. Well, if I answered yes,
if you would have said, I floated every hunt, then we'd be on right now. They'd be knocking on the door.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Someone's just waiting to get me. Well, anyways, if that's the case, I fucking fooled you guys because I didn't answer the question. I don't even know if it could float. I've never ever tried that. No, but like seriously, even if you were like at the skeet range or something, right? Like I've never ever tried it. I've just
you can on a lot of shotguns you can get that shell to jam back in over the feed.
Yeah,
feed thing.
Ramp.
But it'll
cycle then.
But when it goes back, what happens is when you cycle your shotgun, you're going to double feed.
Right.
And 2 are going to get stuck.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Like the guys in New Zealand, when I was down there, like down there on some of the areas, they don't have like any kind of plug capacity or anything. So then I'm like looking at the stores and I'm like, do you guys like, is nobody buying ammo? And they're like, no, we buy 2 3/4 inch. And I was like, why? And he's like, well, if they're shooting on land, they can shoot. If they're not on the water, they can shoot lead down there still.
Okay.
So
Okay.
everybody was running like 2 3/4 inch, like 4s or 5s, because then they can get like more in the pipe. You know what I mean? So I'm like, holy shit! Like you want to talk about like some outlaw shit still that's down there.
Well,
God bless them.
yeah. Hey.
Yeah, hey, bro. Listen, when I was there, we shot some geese in a field, and I ran 100% 2 3/4 inch 5s, and it was like I was a kid again. It was
That's
evil.
awesome. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was evil.
I mean, you could always hunt turs in Newfoundland.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The only
well,
place in North America you can use lead for waterfowl.
yep.
Is
Well,
that by you
and
guys?
well, it's on the east coast of Canada, right? In Newfoundland. That little island. So sea ducks, right?
Well, they're not a duck.
No, they're not a
Yeah,
duck.
it's
I
like
get
You
it's
it.
just
probably
a
rather
term,
some
right?
people rather eat mergansers than turs. But
What's the proper name for turs? Is it mers?
yeah, I think it's common myrrh or something like
Common
that.
mer or something like that. Yeah. Leave it to Newfoundland to come up with its own name on
Yep.
for something, which is typical. Mario, buddy, as usual, and I know you know this, but for anybody that's listening for the first time, you'll notice we're all over the place on this show. We have a plan, or I have a plan, I should say. I stopped
All
sending
good.
it. I stopped sending it to Merck and Phil and Ryan a long time ago because they never ever fucking read it, and then I was left to just go anyway, so I just make up my own plan now and just go with it.
And
But
if we did read it, we didn't follow it anyways.
no, and then
Yeah, who cares? Like, just go for it. Like, those
yeah,
are the best. I think those are the best shows that kind of go into it and then just go. Like, if something comes up, you just go with it. So
yeah,
Tangent.
it's all good with me.
it's awesome.
Listen, every once in a while on a long trip, you drive in the ditch for a little bit, and then you weave back out when you wake up. So shit
Yeah.
happens. You just go with it, right?
I did want to touch like you brought up that fact, and again, this is off script, so but you brought up the fact about New Zealand. Dude, have you been following Ramsey Russell's Instagram feed lately? That
I
dude
haven't.
that dude is shooting some funky ducks around this. Holy shit. I think he's in Australia right now, and I don't even know what the fuck it was. It looked like a pterodactyl. I'm not even
Yeah.
joking. Like, this thing was massive what he shot the other day. Just insane. And I just think about it. I'm like, if you sit back and you think about it, Mario, and I'm sure you've had it, people have said it to you, with you being somewhat in the industry, like, man, it must be fucking nice to get paid to hunt ducks and just travel around and shoot birds and stuff like this, right? And meanwhile, could be no further from the truth, because you get no time to shoot ducks because you're too busy ordering shit and planning for the next year and stuff. But you look at Ramsey Russell, and the guy's traveling all over the world, and on the on the surface it looks amazing because he gets to travel to all these cool places and shoot these crazy cool birds.
Yeah.
But the amount of time he's away from home, the amount of travel that the guy does and everything, like it I'm sure it's got to take its toll. I'm not putting words in Ramsey's mouth or nothing like that, and he's never been a guest on the show. Simple plug for Ramsey Russell, if you ever want to come on the show. Love that.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
listen, it's all well and good. Like, do we get to go film in cool places and go to, you know, we were in Ontario this year at Jack Miner. Like, we did like Europe last year. Like, we've done a bunch of cool stuff, but yeah, like, do I like that's all I do? I go sit and jump on a plane and go hunt, and then I got nothing to do. Like, I'm working while I'm on the road, and I got calls, and I'm talking to manufacturing, and it's late at night because everything's overseas, and it's like, yeah, like everybody thinks it's all the glory stuff, and a lot of the like younger guys or gals want to get into it, they think like you're just going to hunt every 2 seconds, that's all you do. And it's like, and listen, I get enough time in the woods and everything else. Like there's no doubt about it because I make sure I make time for that. But, there's an awful lot of stuff that goes, along with it. Depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
And listen, like everybody that's listening to this, by no means am I trying to say, hey, listen, everything isn't all peachy and shiny. At the end of the day, yes, I'm still getting paid to
yeah.
go hunt birds and stuff like that. Oh, I didn't like the way that came out.
Hey,
No,
listen,
fair enough.
I get to talk about, I get to talk about what I like to do, what I love to do,
Yeah,
you know, all the time. I'm either, I'm either doing it, talking about it, planning it, like rehashing it, like whatever you want to say, like I'll
yeah,
take that any day. You know what I mean? I did I did manual labor, we used to frame houses, we poured concrete. Like my parents owned a grocery store growing up. Like I've done some real shit, right? So I know how fortunate I am to do what I'm doing.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
I never, I never, like here's the thing, like I never throw that bullshit line that I go, "Oh, I'm just living the dream." You know what I mean? When those guys say that, like those are the guys I just want to, give them one of, you want it in the throat or in the stomach because it's like if you're truly in the industry and you're enjoying what you're doing, like you really are living it. So why would you even like, make light of it or throw shade on it?
Yeah.
That's just stupid, you
But
know?
and you and Mark were talking about it before we hit the record button. And Mark, you can chime in here because it was really the both of yous that were talking. But um, you were talking about um, well, I had said, hey, listen, like everything looking great in Final Approach. You guys are announcing a bunch of new stuff, and you were like, well, no, actually, we're not. It was just late coming, and now we're sold out on stuff. That is like that's the not so fun part about the job, right? Is you're trying to forecast and you don't want to fuck up your forecast. You either don't have enough or you got too much, right? Like,
It's always that. It's
yeah,
always that. I mean, no matter what you make, you know what I mean? You're always, and listen, it could be, I mean, holy shit. Like, listen, it could be like snow covers or something, right? Like you sit on them for 2 years, we don't have snow. And then all of a sudden we got snow coming out our ears right now. You know what I mean? Like it could be anything. Like you don't know. So
yeah,
you're trying to go along with the flow and you're trying to calculate and be on task and try to be right. That's what you can do. You know, that's it. It's a guessing game, no matter what. So, you know, you just do what you can. You follow the trends, you watch what's going on. Like I said, if you're close enough to it, I'm a user, right? I'm an end user, right?
mm-hmm,
So, and I think last time we were on, I think we talked about, a lot of the companies and stuff like that in the outdoor industry where, they're missing like end users, right? So they can't follow the trends or, they're not in the field all the time. They're not using equipment and breaking it and going, and some guy and, back in the back rooms like, you're like, hey, we need to change this. Well, why would we change that?
mm-hmm.
We're saving money doing it this way. Well, the shit breaks all the time, so we got to do a different route. Oh, well, we can't do that. I've worked at companies like that where stuff like that has happened, and it's like, we're not gonna change we're gonna change the 30-cent piece because you wanted to, and you guys keep breaking it. Well, we're pretty hard on stuff, right? So maybe you want to change it. So I don't have that issue, at FA. Like we're all users. So if we're like, I'll know there's a problem before there's a problem because we got it in we're
Right.
using it, we're testing it. That's what stuff used to be like. You know what I mean? It was like, and now it's like, look at shotguns and stuff. Everybody's trying to beat everybody to the punch with a shotgun. And then you go, well, I'm not buying it the first year
Yeah.
because who knows? They're trying to rush it out. Like, who knows what's going to happen with it, right?
But like Mark and Phil, well, Phil's having some audio problems, so he may not be able to hear us right now. But Mark, like, how many times have we said, like, we've said that just in our little circle when we've seen something new come out that we weren't 100% sold on, like right off the bat? How many times have we said, well, let's wait and let's see if they work once they work out the bugs and everything before we jump on it? Like, we've said that a number of times on a number
I'm
of
sure.
products.
Yeah, because you've been burned a couple times, right, Mark? Like, how many times can
Oh,
you get,
buddy.
you know, right?
I'm not going to get into the brand, but
Yeah.
there's a certain brand of, not necessarily exactly a decoy, but it's a decoy, and they've been putting them out for years. They were
Not it.
They were
Not
best
it.
things around. No, and they were good. They were one of the best ones around. And then all of a sudden they put out a model that just shit the bed. They all, like, the people who knew at the time, 6 or 8 of us bought them, and
Yeah,
80% of them failed.
yeah.
And that was just the ones we knew. We knew more.
Yeah.
So this is a company that had a product out for years. So
Oh, I can
that was
imagine.
just-
Believe me.
proper development wasn't done when they put out that product, is what happened.
Right. Yeah, you know what? I've been scratching my head as soon as you said that. I'm like, who the fuck is he talking about? And then right off the bat, and then as soon as you said a bunch of us bought them, I knew exactly what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I do.
we're not trying to do that, right? Like, I'm not trying to do it for, like anything. Like, we have had very minor issues, right? And then we're on them fast. And like, listen, you make something mass produced. Sometimes something just fails that you didn't think was going to fail.
Absolutely.
And you
Like,
just
that's the law of averages, Mario. Like, that's going to happen.
So, we were on it quick, changed it, did a bunch of stuff, like took care of the customers. That's the whole point. Like, what do you do when the shit hits the fan like that? Like, what do you do? So, we definitely pride ourselves in doing stuff like that, trying not to have any issues, or if there is an issue, we're on it fast and we take care of it. So, that's,
I
don't
don't
know.
think
That's what we're trying to stand on.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a company out there, regardless of what it is, waterfowl, kitchen appliances, furniture,
Sure.
fuck you name it. You're in the business of mass producing, and you're mass producing, I'm gonna say 8 times out of 10 outside of North America. Things are gonna
Shit
fail.
happens.
Shit happens, absolutely. But what makes a company, set you off to the side is how you handle those things that break, right? Because everybody knows it's gonna fucking break.
Not if, it's when.
That's right, Philly. It's not if, it's when, and hopefully it doesn't break when you've got that full sprig bolt
Right.
coming in, and that's when it fucking fails on you, and that's
No, in my case, you just miss them both.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still waiting.
Those two birds still haunt me to this day.
Yeah. What were you saying, Mark?
I'm still waiting for my 2009 Final Approach Eliminator Blind to fail. That thing is going.
Okay, so I'm gonna one up you, and I shit you not. Mine is 1999
Okay. Which model?
Eliminator.
Yeah, it's the Eliminator. Yeah.
It's still in my shop. I have it grass with raffia grass. The raffia grass and the blind itself are older than my kids. It's sitting in the shop. There's no mouse tears in it, no nothing. I have it up on a pallet so the little bastards can't get to it. So I've kept it free from the mice, and for sure. And when that one comes out, like, yeah, Big Daddy's out. So
things are gonna die.
I still use that so much. I
pretty
have
cool.
a brand new in the box blind that a friend of mine got me from a big box store. big box name, and he gave it to me, and it's still in the box. The box is unopened for like
just because the other one's still going. Well,
But-
buddy, if something ever happens to that, I don't even know. We don't even have parts for that thing anymore. We might have some parts, actually. We might have some parts.
I can jury rig.
But if we don't have parts,
Duct tape.
let me know. We'll give you an updated one because that's pretty good. And you know what? And if we hang our hat on something like that, I'm good with that. You know what I mean?
But Mario, educate and correct me if I'm wrong here, but Final Approach, that was the reason, that was how the company started, right? Was
right off the layout line.
Was right off the layout line, right? And when you say you guys are like an end user, like again, it was started by, hey, listen, I need something to hunt geese with. And everything. And listen, Mark is not just blowing smoke up your ass with that. Like I hear about it all the fucking time, how awesome this blind is. You know what I mean? Like he still talks about it. Yeah.
There was a blind before that wasn't really mass produced. It was called a slider blind. Okay. There's a guy in Wisconsin that says he has 2 of them, right? And I've talked to Ron Latchaw, who started everything, and then Duke Levan is over here in Washington. Duke, they called Duke the band man. I don't know if you remember him with Grounds, and they would go hunt everywhere, him and Grounds and Latchaw, right? So Duke was a machinist, and he did the blind frames, right? But the first slider blind was super heavy. You know, take it out in like pieces. So I never had a slider blind because, man, I couldn't lug that shit, right?
Yeah.
But couple guys that still have those. If you got one of those, you got some history right there, because that was truly the first layout. Now you have, Mark, you have the first one that was manufactured, like mass produced, right?
Yeah.
But that slider blind was like the first deal to do it. Yeah.
My first ever layout was an Eliminator Express.
Yeah.
Really, eh?
That little tiny fold up layout blind.
Yeah. I know exactly which one you mean. It's just like a sleeping bag with a backrest, so you could go anywhere with it, and it weighed like nothing.
Yep.
And that was the first one I think Cabela's copied.
Bro, it started like
I'm joking. I think it's the first one they copied.
I believe you.
It was when those came out, it was like only like, you know, and I think we talked about this last time, like, you know, what are the few things, because I always talking about it on the FA podcast, like, you know, when I talk to guys that have been doing this a long time, like give me your couple things that change the waterfowl world, right? The layout blind, the spinner, right? Like you could go down a couple things, and like, I mean, like truly just epically changed everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So of course everybody's going to copy it. Like, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? You know, as soon as the patent ran out on all the spinning wing shit, look at everybody right now. Everybody is fighting, like people who shouldn't even be in the spinning wing market, right, are in it because, well, whatever, you can get in it. You screw it. Go ahead. If you want to get in it, like, right? But it's like, dude, do I want to mess around with electronics? Like, no, thanks. I'm good. Like, you want to talk about, you know, shit breaking or like, you know, if something happens, like, I don't want to be on that side. I don't.
There's a whole lot of you can't push that so anything electronic wise, like you can't push that out the door in 2 years. Like you need more than 2 years of R&D on that. Like it's got the, you know, so if you're looking at North America, like it's got to be everywhere. And okay, so, or even, let's not even say Canada. Like you can take something in North Dakota and it will replicate whatever it's going to be in Alberta, right? Like it's the same climate. It's the exact same climate.
Sure.
Miserable.
Miserable and cold,
wet.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So,
sure.
You know, if you're going to hang your hat, and listen, I'm not picking I fucking love spinners.
For sure. Like if you can use them, Listen, my state is one of the last few states where you cannot use electronic spinning wing decoys. It is the dumbest shit. And here's why. We can use a pull string spinner, which does the exact same motion, right? Which, because it's the motion that brings the birds, right? It's not the battery, right? It's the motion. So we have the same motion as the electronic. All you got to do is keep pulling it, right? Okay, so you got to pull it.
Yeah.
And that's not banned, but the battery's banned. So,
well, and just to play devil's advocate here, from a policy writing guy, I bet you it comes down to the fact of, hey, listen, if we allow batteries, every swinging dick is going to have one put out there. But if it takes manual labor, there's only a select few that's going to do it. So let's keep it at manual labor, and then that way, I guarantee you that's what it comes down to.
But it's so dumb because there's there's like 2 or 3 like spinning wing companies that have, and they're here obviously, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if somebody's got somebody in their pocket on Fish and Wildlife, like, hey, let's leave this in here because my buddy's killing it with the pull strings. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I really don't, because it makes, if I told you that, right, like, you would look at me like I'm insane. Like if I explain that to you why it's banned, right? What would you ask me? You would be like, I don't know. What would you ask me? Like, it's the same shit.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
Right?
You must be in California.
I'm in Oregon. Like, Oregon's
yeah.
Oregon
is the
north. We're the last. Oh, you can't. Oh, no. There's an exact line. Don't worry about that. We're California. I can tell you where the line is. There is a line.
Well,
so so makes no sense. Like, I couldn't explain that one to you.
I want to shift gears a little bit, Mario, and I want to talk about the fact that you're making the trip, you're coming up to Canada, you're coming up to the refuge in March. And you know what? The amazing thing about it was how quick, you and FA jumped on the refuge. Like, you had called them and booked yourself in. Like, I found out from the Toronto Sportsman Show, like, you and I are talking and stuff like that. But then the Toronto Sportsman Show says, well, hey, listen, Final Approach is coming. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Canada has always been a special market for Final Approach, ever since the start, you know what I mean? Ever since 93. And, listen, it's been sold a couple times. Like, we went through, this, you could read it on the website. Like, the company was sold a couple times, was at a couple places where it's just part of the, portfolio. There's 40 brands and it's just buried in there. Like now it is by itself. I don't answer to someone who works at, some whatever company, right? I answer to, like, Final Approach people about Final Approach, and that's it, right? So Canada had always been an incredible market for us, and we did so much business up there that was like my main focus. So we did the Calgary show last year. We didn't do Edmonton because I did Calgary, and I wanted to do it because that's where our distribution was in Calgary. Now we're working on some more distribution in the East, and I want to come over there because it's a totally different market.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, once you hit Manitoba and you start sliding west, like, everybody's got dry boots and nobody's even thinking about putting on a pair of waders or going in the water. You know what I mean? You start going east, it's like, we're going to shoot some divers, we're going to shoot some lakes, we're going to shoot some big water, like, we're going to chase geese on the water, like, we're going to do different things. It's a different market. I mean, it is cut and dried, split different.
Yeah, big time. No, that's I've never really thought about it like that, but you're 100% right. Like, if you're in a prairie pothole area, you're shooting mallards in the face over a field, right?
And believe me, the wetlands and stuff over there, like, you go to Alberta and Saskatchewan, like your ass does not want to get in that water, because I can tell you they got some, they call it like an organic bottom, whatever they call it. It's bullshit, because the first time I went over there, like, yeah, you can put out the decoys. Bro, I needed like a rope to get me out.
Yeah.
Like,
Loon shit. That's what we call loon shit.
Yeah.
and I'm like, I see why you guys don't hunt the water. Like,
Yeah.
don't give me this, like, oh, we don't want to disturb the birds. Like, no, bro, you're full of shit. You don't want to get in the waders and get in the water, because guess what? I only did it twice. I was stupid enough to do it the second time. I'll never do it again. Nope.
But and now I want to, like, so we're talking to refuge and everything, and I want, so that people understand, and I want you to sort of kind of lay it out, Mario, of what people can expect from Final Approach at the Sportsman Show at the refuge. So are you coming with a hockey sock full of equipment, or are you set up so that you'll have a deal and then people will order online and ship it,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean?
So we're gonna do a mix of both. Like, we got 40 feet, and I'm gonna have like a bunch of the blinds there, a couple new blinds that we have, so you can look at them, see what they're all about. We're gonna have some stuff on sale. We're either gonna have stuff there to move, like take it with you, or we're
Yep.
gonna ship right to the house. We're gonna have a mix of both. Plus, there's gonna be some new stuff, like um, like we haven't launched it yet, or we haven't really talked about it, but and this is perfect for over there. Like, we are getting into the turkey market. Like, we've had this discussion forever.
Yep.
We've waited and waited. Time is right. So we will have turkey decoys, a vest, some clothing. Like,
Wow.
we're coming in the turkey market just because. And listen, from my days at a couple other companies, I can tell you that Ontario is an incredible market for turkeys, and I don't and bigger than, if you were from here where I'm at, or you were in the States, somebody would say turkey hunting. Where you go, Tennessee,
Yep.
Mississippi, Alabama, you'd say something like that. The first thing that comes to my mind is Ontario,
There's
because I know how many turkey licenses, people who buy decoys, like, I know what goes on
yeah.
in Ontario, right?
Mhm.
And it's huge.
Oh yeah.
And people would just be like, look at me like all square, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I got some intel, and I know what it's all about. So I'm excited to have that stuff there, just because of the market. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's perfect timing, right? So like we're gonna roll in
Right around the
your
corner.
yeah, like what are we out, Philly? The 14 to 17 March is the refuge. I think
Yeah.
I don't even think you've got a month and turkey season opens up, right?
I believe it's like the 15th or the 18th or something. Like, it's right
Okay,
there.
so maybe
So
4
yeah,
weeks.
you're a month, or it's the end of April. Like, it's
Yeah.
right there for sure.
Yeah, we're April 25th for turkey.
Last week
Is
of
it?
April.
Okay. Yeah, last week of April.
So five weeks after the show.
Yeah.
For real, right? That's what I'm saying. So we're that close. So I want people to see them, touch them, see them, get excited about it, just because I know what kind of market that is right there. Like, we have the Turkey Federation, the National Wild Turkey Federation show on, like, it's like Valentine's week. It's like 15, 16, 17. So we'll have everything there.
Cool.
But that's when we're going to kind of
That's
launch
in
it
Nashville, right?
That's in Nashville, right? So
Yeah.
we're going to blow it up there and get started there. But I'm looking for, like, really cool stuff when I come up there, and people being excited, and not really, it'll be new to them. So, like, Final Approach has never been in that section. You know what I mean? Ever.
How,
So,
if I can ask you, Mayor, like how long were you guys, bouncing this idea around? Like how many, I guess that's a hard question to ask, but like how many
2 years.
iterations, but how many
Been around for about
iterations,
2 years.
how many iterations of decoys made it to you guys and you're like, yeah, I don't like this. No, we got to change that. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
we talked, like I said, we talked about it for 2 years, and finally, got ahead of it. So, so Tom Christie, who's like, 6-time world decoy carving champion.
Yep.
I had to pick my battles. Like, Pat Godden does a lot for us.
I was just going to
So
mention.
busy, right?
Yeah.
But Pat's so busy. So I'm like, okay. And I got Wayne Simkin, who's from up that way too. Wayne's from up in Canada.
Yeah.
And then Jamie's in South Carolina. So I got 4 guys. So I got to look at who's doing what right now in, when we're talking about it, who's doing what. And then I got the same thing, buddy.
So this is a sidetrack because I got to tell you this story. So I reached out to Pat just when I started. Now listen, I got to preface this by I have yet to complete an actual duck. So anyways, I reached out to Pat and told him, hey, I'm just new, I'm learning, this is who I am, gave him my history. And his son is a veteran. And he was like, hey, listen, I got a bunch of these books that like the pages are upside down on some of them. He's like, and I can't sell them because they're not perfect, right?
They didn't print them right.
They didn't print them right. So he was like, but I'm going to send you one. So he sent me one. He fucking autographed it and everything and put a little message in there. And I was like, man, that's so cool. So, and what I got to say is on his Instagram the other day, he put a couple black ducks on his Instagram.
Yep.
Holy smokes, man.
Did you see the rough grouse? Did you see the rough grouse he did?
No, I did not. I'm going to go look for it there right now. Anyways, I sidetracked you there.
Dude. So then I got to kind of look and see who's doing what and who can I put to this task because, listen, I've stuck these carvers with like, I don't know, shit they didn't want to do. You know what I mean? Because I don't really say, hey, do you want to do this? And they go, I give them a chance to go, I don't know about that. But I knew the turkey, excuse me, I knew the turkey was going to be tough. And I knew none of them had done a turkey before.
Mm-hmm.
Not Pat, not Tom, not Wayne, not Jamie, none of them. And I'm thinking to myself, like, who could I literally throw like the biggest freaking curveball to? And so I went to Tom and I said, hey, listen, have you ever thought about doing a turkey? And Tom is real like monotone and very, very mechanical in his thinking. And he's like, he goes, that's a good question. I have thought about it. And he's like, but I haven't been pushed to do that. And I said, well, that's good because we're going to do some and you're going to do them. Cool. And I said, here's some pictures coming over. Let's start looking at some reference photos and let's start looking at this. And I'll tell you what, I got the reference photo like somewhere buried. I know I got it on my phone. So when I come up, I'll show it to you. But like the reference photo that we started with and what the Jake decoy came out looking like, was pretty damn close. Like
I got to
you couldn't tell me that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, it's not focusing right now.
Yeah, go to Pat Godden's page and look at that.
Godden Art on Instagram. I'm sorry, buddy. I keep jumping.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I have one of Pat's books, and I'm trying to think if it's here. I'll pull it out, but it's a puddler book. But that's what I started on. So, I think everybody has kind of started there.
Yeah.
So I pushed Tom. He took the bait. He went with it, and here we are. We got a Jake in a hand. That's what we'll have, and we got some other stuff that we're going to show off. So I'm pretty excited about it. And Tom did the paint scheme too, because Tom is. Listen, Pat is 17-time. Holy shit, right?
Great.
He's Jesus in the carving world, right? Like you can't beat him.
Yeah,
like,
he's
it's
royalty.
Unbelievable. Tom is the most. I don't even know how to say this because I can't say like I can't really say like the best or most artistic. Like I can't even explain it. I can tell you that Tom will take a picture, go to a pencil sketch, then go to the carving, then go to the paint.
Yeah.
And every step would blow your mind. Like, here, hold on a second. Like, this is hanging on the wall. That's a sketch.
Yep.
That's a pencil sketch, folks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a
Yeah.
That's a pencil sketch, right? Like, explain that this guy goes from pencil sketch to like next level. Like, his pencil sketch is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Looks like I've never seen anything like it. So he's so artistic in every step that it blows your mind.
And that's from what little bit I do know about decoy carving and that whole thing, is that there's a very distinct line. Like, you could be an amazing decoy carver, but then the paint is another skill on top of it, and that's what sets the best away from the best, right? Like, there's a ton of guys out there that can carve, but then the painting is what
Have
sets
the whole skill set.
I'm pretty excited about the turkey season because Philly has invited me down this year. I'm gonna go out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a hunt with Philly. And while we're talking about the refuge, I do have to let everybody know, for the millions of fans listening, that Mark Vitch is making the trip from Nova Scotia all the way up to Ontario to come sit in the refuge, shake hands, kiss babies, all that stuff. He's doing it.
Reverse one the other.
He's doing it. Philly's going to be there. Mark's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Mario's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be a fucking time.
I want to see these turkey decoys.
Yeah,
bro, I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm like really excited of what's going on with everything there, and I'll have a bunch of people, from over in Calgary who are helping us distribute and do all that. I have my buddy Tyler, man, who has an outfitting business. We go to his place in Saskatchewan. He'll be there helping, because the thing about it is, listen, I can sell you stuff because of course I work there, but I'm an end user once again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love having somebody who like, when you look at a guide or an outfitter, he's gonna abuse his gear pretty hard because they run hard. They don't have a lot of time. Everything gets thrown in the trailer. You got to move you're hunting in the morning, you're hunting in the afternoon, you're hunting in the morning, you're hunting in the afternoon. Like, you are going, you're cleaning birds, you're making sure everybody's got their licenses, who needs a ride here to the airport, so-and-so's got to make dinner. We got to do that. Like, your hair's on fire, right? All the time. So those guys,
it's organized chaos.
Put it through the paces. So, I just let people talk to Tyler. Like, if you want some details or you want to talk to me, I'll 100% help you. But if you want to know if something lasts or, can take it, go talk to him. Like, I don't need to sell you on it. Like, he'll tell you. Like, they're on their second year of the decoys. They beat the shit out of them, and everything still looks really good, enough to kill, thousands of birds a year right in your face. So there it is.
Is that not the, like, here's a question for you guys now, and all three of you can chime in on this, but is that not the deciding factor, or maybe it's not the deciding factor, but it's got to be up there when you're buying a decoy? It's, how many times have you heard somebody say fucking paint rubbed off on them after one season? Like, how many times have you heard that? Like, the decoy, that looks awesome. The fuck, it looks great. Everything out of the box looks awesome. But how many times have you heard someone say, well, fuck it, I didn't even get a season out of them because the paint's wearing off of them and shit like that. Like, that is a legitimate concern for a duck hunter or a goose hunter or a turkey hunter. You know what I mean?
That's why I let those guys, talk about stuff like that. Like, of course they're expecting me to tell you that, right? Because I make them, right? Of course they're expecting me to give you the whole, the paint's not going to come off, this and that. Ask the guy who takes, 120 honkers out of the trailer twice a day,
Yeah.
twice out, twice in, right?
Yeah.
No bags, like
Yeah.
shit throws them in, right? Because they're busy, right? Ask him, do they have scratches? Are they messed up a little bit? Is the flocking? Yeah, no shit. Look what he's done to them for 60 days, right? And now that's 2 years. Yeah, ask him.
Yeah.
And he's still killing birds. So I mean, what do you want? Like that's why I let him talk to people.
Mark?
I was just gonna say the decoys you're working with may not be as hardcore as you thought.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing, right? Like, listen, I get, and I'm not here to pass judgment on anybody. Like, if you only get out once a week, hey, listen, you've got a fucking full-time job, you've got a family, you've got kids, the whole bit, and you can only get out Saturday morning, that, hey, you're still getting out, and I love it, and thank God that you have the opportunity that you're able to do that. But if you're listen, if you're an outfitter, I can guarantee you, I shouldn't say I can guarantee because I haven't been with every outfitter, but I've been with a few. They ain't bagging fucking decoys. I can tell you, they're getting
There's
turfed.
no time, buddy.
No, there's no time. They're getting turfed in the back of a trailer and they're getting beat across the prairie, and then getting set out again, right? Like how many times? Like Phil, fuck you guided for a little bit. Like, did you bag all your shit?
Yeah.
Did you really?
All my Dixies are all bagged, man.
Well, okay, yeah. Okay, Philly's a nerd. Philly's a nerd. Yeah. Don't listen
but
to him.
You want to see it? You want to see some cool videos? There actually might be like collab with Kent and whatnot. But like our trip out west.
Yeah.
Well, not last year because we're what fucking year is it? So 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's a video literally of Jordan Stone booting decoys out the door.
Yeah.
Like there's 7 of us. We've got like 1,500 snow geese we got to get set up.
Yeah.
So literally
kick the door. Donuts with the trailer, so you just drive in a circle and you just keep kicking them out. Because I've done that shit too.
we weren't that bad, but like we had.
No, bro, that's efficient,
buddy.
I can't remember how many. We had a couple hundred full bodies.
Next time you do that, sorry, Philly. Next time you do that, Mario, fucking video that, because that's impressive.
Pretty efficient. I'm telling you, like you would think like that's chaos, but it's like let's keep kicking them out, bro, and rolling circles. And you're like, dude, we got a perfect. Let's do it. So
just keep going wider.
All you got to do. You just can't run over the ones you just kicked out for sure. Yeah. And you always got to kick to the inside. So there's actually a method to that. So
well, like literally,
for
like
sure.
Jordan kicks open the door, and literally just because like we had 300-400 full bodies.
Yeah.
Man.
Open the door, just start drop kicking them, get them out of the way.
Yeah.
And Mark,
I will say, like I'll bag. So, like on my personal spread that doesn't get out as much as all the other spreads, right? I will bag my fully flocked ducks, my floaters, right? I want to keep them nice. Those are the ones that are in the boat. Like those are the hardest ducks I got to chase when I'm in the boat. So I keep those nice. No problem. I don't have like 2,000. There's like 18. They're super nice. I keep them clean. That's it.
And that's why I don't buy flock decoys.
Because you know what? Because I know that's going to make a difference, right? I'm going to need that at some point. Because by the time we get late, and I'm out of the boat, and we're shooting some little hole, and the ducks are freaking, off the river or wherever, and it's been tough. Like I know that's going to make a difference.
Well,
so that's what I'm watching.
And from what I've gathered in the, 2 years that we've been doing this show, Oregon and Michigan and Washington, I swear to God, every fucking widgeon is born in those 2 states, and then they migrate east. I've never seen widgeon numbers like Oregon and Washington.
We get some pretty serious, and you know what? The last couple of years, like it's actually like I think it's been down because we've had like certain times of the year where we're shooting a lot of widgeon, but we haven't seen from like, one of the years where all of a sudden it's like, you're shooting widgeon all year and you're shooting a lot. Like we usually have more than what we've had. So
Jesus.
I know if you want to clip some widgeon, like shit, Oregon and Washington. I think Washington's even better actually in
I
certain
actually
spots.
shot my first widgeon this year.
Did
Like
you
this
really?
this past season, shot my very first widgeon.
Holy shit.
Yeah, did it at Habitat Flats, out of all places.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my God.
needless to say, that bird is going on the wall.
Was it a nice one?
Well, kind of twofold.
Nice enough, right?
Nice enough that it was the first one that I ever shot, and a drake nonetheless. So that was sweet.
There you go.
And it was done at the home lodge. But like here he is, like right after I shot him.
Yeah, like listen, if you have all that white, you know what I mean? And listen, when we're wet and muddy and pretty shitty out west here, they look a little rough, right?
Yeah.
Because they're in the mud, like they're doing that. Like when you shoot them in different places, they are pretty bright. So it depends on where you get them. So yeah. So I wouldn't. No,
well, even
I
like,
would have shot them right in the teeth for sure.
When the we were running like the dog. Yeah, I think the dog went and got it. Whatever. So we had two guides, two young fellas as our guides that morning. Amazing fellas. Anyways, they bring the bird back and they grab from the dog and grab by the leg, give it a little shake. They're like, "That's a nice bird," and I'm like, "Awesome," because it's going on the wall because it's my first ever.
What was that, Philip?
Was that Missouri?
The Drake widgeon.
Oh yeah.
Was that Missouri?
Yeah, we're at the home lodge there, so the one north of the Grand.
Yep, I know where that's at.
But yeah, so he's going on the wall. That one, so that was shot there. Then I got my first ever gadwall last January when I was down hunting a different outfitter down in the Boot Heel.
Yeah.
So like a January gadwall. They ain't gonna get any nicer.
Gadwall.
Guess where he's
The
going?
the only ones that get any nicer are like February.
He's going up with this guy.
Gadwall do it so nice too.
Oh, like in the timber.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
Snowflakes.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand how nice a gadwall is. I think they take them for granted. Guys will just say, "Oh, gray ducks, this and that." I think those and kind of like spoonbills just don't get the respect they should get.
Well, it was funny. The outfitter that we were with last January, ducks came in two species: mallards and trash ducks.
Really, eh? I'm pretty sure I'd screw a spoonie if I shot it.
I'm gonna share
a lawn dart given the chance.
If I haven't shot something and it comes by, it's getting clipped.
Yeah.
I don't care what the guy says or anything like that. Like I don't care what's happening. You know what I mean?
That's definitely a lot nicer than the one I shot, but
yeah, that's nice.
That? Yeah. Where is that, Mark?
You guys guess, Severdanian. Where do you think that picture was taken?
Google.
No. I took that photo in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Yes,
even that hen's nice in the back. Like her coloring's really good too.
Yeah.
I got another one here. Hold on.
That's a good looking cotton top, eh? Look at that.
Oh yeah, look at that color. Are you kidding me?
But it's funny, like in talking to the guys that we were hunting with that day, they're like, widgeon color variation is like huge.
Oh yeah.
But you have listen, I can tell you for sure, like you have no idea. Like they're talking about this is a storm widgeon. No, it's not a storm widgeon. If it has more white here in the face, they call it a storm. There's so many different colors.
Eurasian.
I don't want to tell you a Eurasian story. You'll throw up.
Probably.
Well, when we were in Sweden, that's all we shot. That's all I had. We shot teal and Eurasians, and we were like 20 deep on Eurasians.
Wow.
It was pretty. If I find a photo, you let me look here.
Well, it's funny. Like some guys get right horny over black ducks. Where you go to the east coast of Canada and they're dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get 4 or 6 depending on where you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually,
every day.
Mark, when I think all we shot was blacks and mallards, right? When we were in,
That's
we
all you'll
shot.
shoot for the most part. I
That's
shot
all.
a shot widgeon in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Gay
like black,
balls.
we shot, like, this is December, so we shot some beauty drakes, some beauty blacks and greenheads, like fucking amazing.
Mm.
We're gonna start winding this down as Mario's looking for that picture. Because we're almost at that 60-minute mark. But I love doing this show, man, because 60 minutes just blows by so fast, or
So
due to
fast.
me, due to
Yeah.
me, anyways. I
Well,
know.
I'm
Yeah, go for
excited
it.
for the show. I've never been to that show,
Yeah.
to the Toronto show. I haven't been in the refuge part. Like, it's all waterfowl stuff. Like, so when people come in there, like, they're coming in like for the
Yeah,
reason,
buddy.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're coming for real. So I'm pretty excited about that. Like, I'm pumped.
Well,
Like, I'm so
I'm
freaking
pumped
pumped.
that you're coming, man, because I'm gonna tell you, last year was the first
I'm
year
jacked.
that we done the refuge, and there was 5 vendors, and Ducks Unlimited Canada and Delta Waterfowl were 2 of them.
Here,
So
I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this just so
yeah,
you guys can just get a.
um, and oh my God,
Dude, it's not
look
even
at that.
They look
now.
they look pretty cool. They almost look like
Look at
half widgeon, half ptarmigan.
well, I'm looking at the grays, and tell
Yeah,
me
like
tell me if
look at
I'm
this.
right, Ediver, but look at those grays. Does that not remind you of turkey?
It
A
it is
little
unbelievable.
bit. Guinea fowl.
Now,
Oh, guinea fowl, maybe, yeah.
now the other thing, so the crazy thing on that where I had them, it was just like a little rock wall, like a little rock blind, right?
Okay.
And we met the guy that hunted that. His property wasn't too far from us, but this is like on the right off the Baltic Sea in Sweden, right? So I meet this guy, he's like 86 years old. He's been hunting that his whole life. You know how many birds have been killed out of that little freaking stone blind? It'd make your
Divot.
head explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy could tell you. And anyways, that's another conversation, because those old guys are the fellas I want to talk to when I say things like, I think bird numbers are down. Those are the guys I want to talk to, because those are the guys that know, right? Because they've been doing it for 50 years. They know when fucking bird number, not Damian Pittman that's been chasing birds for 15 years. You know what I mean?
Well, you get the best stories from those guys.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I
man,
mean? Like,
100%.
holy shit. And if you don't, if you're a young waterfowler, like, if you don't, see some old guy at the refuge or something, or take him with you, or jump in with him, or what, like, you're nuts. Like,
Yeah.
you are absolutely nuts, because the shit that guy knows,
Oh, he's
you
forgot
haven't
more than
even,
he's forgot more than you'll ever know. Ladies
like,
and gentlemen, almost right to the last minute. We're still got this fucking great show. Thanks, Mario, buddy, for coming on.
but
This is a
anytime
great.
I'm excited to come. Like, I can't wait to get up there. We're gonna shoot the shit and gonna get out the stories and the pictures and the
Yeah, buddy.
bullshit. Like, it's gonna get real deep.
No, Philly will be there. Mark will be there. We've got 18 vendors showing up. It's going to be a time, buddy, and I'm so happy that you guys, you and Tyler, are going to make that trip, and it's going to be such a great time.
Yeah, we're pumped.
Let's do a quick around the table, and then we'll end her there. So, Mark, to you first, my man.
Great chatting with you, Mario. Good to see you again. I can't wait to meet up with you in March. It's going to be quite the reunion when we go there.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't seen a lot of people in a few years, so even when I was in Ontario the last couple of years, I was kind of out of the loop for a little bit.
Yeah.
So no, this will be good to get back there, and good to see you in person. Make sure you bring some good gear, because who knows? I got Damien's house I can leave stuff at and have it shipped down from there.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. We'll ship anywhere, buddy. Don't worry about that. Don't ever worry about that.
Well, I know because I have the stuff.
I'll ship that shit anywhere, buddy. As long as you got an address, we can find it.
Yeah.
Right
If
on.
no
you got a
doubt.
porch, we'll put it on it.
For
Yeah,
sure.
no doubt.
100%.
Philly?
Mario, again, great having you on once again. Again, looking forward to actually shaking your hand in person in 2 months' time. And please bring lots of turkey decoys.
For sure.
I'm looking at making some upgrades maybe, and I know Damien would probably like to shoot one. Preferably not the decoy.
I think we can make a few things happen for sure.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I'll be ready for the show.
I'm due to do an actual turkey hunt because the last couple, it's been, hey, let's take the golf cart, drive down the road and go for a sit and yeah. So I haven't had a traditional real turkey hunt in a couple years. So
I'll make you work for it.
yeah. So,
Actually,
That's what I'm saying. Make them put some miles on. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
We
gotta
were in
do
the
it.
bush at 4:30 in the morning, hiking
Yeah.
camera gear, hiking decoys.
Oh no, I'm there early. It's just I ride to the blind in a golf cart and
There ain't no fucking golf cart here, bro.
It's awesome. Mario, buddy, last words to you.
But listen, come see us at the Toronto show. Come to the Refuge. If you need something, fabrand.ca is where we're at in Canada. For everybody looking for anything, we'll be launching some new stuff, have some new stuff there. You can touch, feel everything, and don't worry, we'll friggin' get it to your porch. Don't worry.
Awesome. And
Yeah,
that's
excited to meet everybody and see everybody there. So yeah, anything anybody wants to know or talk of BS about, come see us.
oh yeah, there'll be a lot of BSing going on.
For sure.
Everybody, this was episode 172 of the Union 0430 Mario Friendly Final Approach. You're going to get to hang out and shake hands with them from the 14th to the 17th of March at the Toronto Sportsman Show in the Refuge. Come by, say hi, shoot us a message. If you have a question for Mario and you don't have his contact, send it to me. I'll get it to him. Trust me, this is going to be a time. With that being said, listen, I touched on it earlier. We're not experts. Well, me, Mark, and Phil aren't. Mario may consider himself an expert.
Nope.
We won't pretend that we're experts. We're just a bunch of friends that love hanging out and talking about duck hunting. Surround yourself with good people. Big love, and see you next week. Ciao.